Hey, it is June 28th and it is 4:57 a.m. I'm making this video right now because someone in law enforcement has been torturing me, and she's only torturing me because I refuse to marry her. She has been hitting my foot very brutally. Okay, I'll tell you everything I know. Her name is Kelly. She told me herself. I saw her at the Russian consulate when I was applying for my visa over there. Okay. She's white and she has hair that literally covers, it's like really curly-ish, covers over the entire thing. Um, yeah. And she is, she believes in, she belongs to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Days, and her family is originally from Utah. Okay, she basically, in a sex rage, she was harassing me and stuff. I don't know what her issue is. I couldn't care less. The only thing I know is right now I've pushed Farah out by telling the truth about what kind of exaggerator she is, which means that she's now going to try to force me to marry her, and she's been hitting my foot very brutally. I said no to her. I don't want to marry her. Okay, you can't force someone to marry you. I already have two psychos. One is Miss Deb, who's been trying to get me to marry her daughter, but those are only advertisements on YouTube. The other is Farah the Greedy Framer, who's been trying to get me to marry her abnormal looking daughter Zara. Okay, now it's her, Kelly, who's been torturing me by hitting my foot very brutally. Okay, yeah. And this all started after June 7th, like literally 10 minutes after the artificial intelligence report for the May 10th brain savant test came out. She's been touching my penis and my rectum and doing all these kinds of things. I don't want to marry someone. I don't have to. You can't torture someone just because they don't want to marry you. Okay? I want to be left alone. I want to be let out of all these tortures. I try to tell the government multiple times that I'm being sexually harassed and that I will file suit. They didn't listen. I stopped making videos because I didn't want to be laughed at. But right now she's torturing me, and she's going to torture me a lot because Farah has been moved out and she wants to marry me, which is really weird because autistic people have their own obsessions. And after my brain savant gets freed, I go into the basement and I start studying, and I stare into a textbook like how I did from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023, when law enforcement found out in the mid-May 2023 test that my brain savant powers increase over time. And because of that, they stopped letting me stare into textbooks after July 1st, 2023. I'm autistic. When I was a child, I would stare into a History Channel logo from morning till night. And that was tested on January 20th, 2026, when they tested out that part of my brain, autistic part of my brain from childhood, and found out that I was telling the absolute truth about that. And that's how the autistic brain savant of mine started off in early childhood, from before I was even 10 years old. It later on evolved into giving me powers like photographic memory, innovation, and focusing. Focusing means I could use it for hours and hours without needing a single second's break. Yesterday, I made an oath to law enforcement, telling them that if they do a 30-minute brain savant test and I'm anything short of Kim Peek Rain Man, then I will sign over to them a paper in court saying that they have won their case because they proved that my entire motive against them, saying that all they've done since 2001 is run sex games with Uncle Joey's in-laws, which they did, and other sex games, and all they've done later on was run money fraud, which they did, and they're still running both right now as we speak, okay, is all they've done, and that they did this with all the other adults, including committing crime, which they did, and now they have narrators like Assad testifying, narrating in court against me. And I thought that was incredibly hilarious. And I told law enforcement in 2023 that this wedding incident I would not be found in, but Assad would definitely be. And you know what? Assad would be committing the crime. And after committing the crime, Assad would be present with the other criminals who committed the crime throughout the entire wedding. With 300 people present, Assad's only going to be present with the other criminals who committed the crime. And law enforcement is going to be the one to cover it over. And guess what? My psychic powers were right, because that's all law enforcement's done since 2001. My motive against law enforcement, my theory against law enforcement in court, is that they only started caring about me when they found out that I was a triple savant encompassing photographic memory, innovation, and focusing. The ability to use these powers without needing a single second's break. Now, they didn't let me stare into textbooks after July 1st, 2023, despite knowing that I was autistic. And this is what autistic people do all day. They stare into things since childhood. And this is absolutely inhumane for me because it's out of my natural habitat that I was in for 4 years, from October 2019 till July 1st, 2023. And even as a child, I would stare into the History Channel logo. They literally took me out of my natural habitat due to extreme envy of mid-May 2023 tests showing that my brain savant powers increase over time, which means that photographic memory, innovation, and focusing increase over time. Guess what? November 14, 2025, the test showed that my brain savant powers were still increasing despite them doing this. And I know this for a fact because I already tested it June 5th when I was in the parking lot. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, her name is Kelly, okay? I'm sick and tired of this, and now that Fire the Greedy Framer is out of the way, she's going to torture me and try to force me to marry her. You can't force someone to marry you, okay? I don't want to marry you. I don't want to marry you. I don't like you. I don't like you. You can't force someone to marry you by torturing them. That's not how it works, okay? That's all I had to say. And yeah, and this is all due to greed for money, and the government's like not looking into this because I already made like 2 videos. The second one was, I thought that they would stop this after that. You know, I don't need this. After my brain savant gets freed, I go into staring into textbooks. That's what I do. That's what autistic people do. Okay, I couldn't care less about this girl. All right. I'm not like I know for a fact she's going to start torturing me even more because now Fire the Greedy Framer has moved out of the way. I told the truth about what she was doing, and literally Fire the Greedy Framer, while she's trying to argue against me in court, she is sending me advertisements literally less than an hour ago for her abnormal looking daughter Zara, whom I do not want to marry. And Miss Deb, on the other hand, is also doing the same thing for her daughter Ashley, who is already married, and I already told her, I'm not marrying your daughter, Miss Deb. You made incredibly racist comments against me in court. I'm saying that my brain savant should get locked up because other people of my religion did bad things. Incredibly racist thing to say about someone, and especially considering the fact that that's not why she was arguing against me in court. She was arguing against me in court because she knew that she wouldn't get my brain savant money because I wasn't going with her daughter. Okay, I already have 2 psychos running after me. I need the government to tell Kelly to stop trying to force me to marry her. I don't want to marry her. I don't want to marry her. Okay, thank you.